What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Raiders conclude their second game of the preseason, matching up against the San Francisco 49ers at home at Allegiant Stadium. And overall, an interesting game where we got to see the starters play in the first half for a couple different series, and definitely a lot to break down in this game. Now, the Raiders offense in those two series with Geno Smith at the quarterback. Now the Raiders offense in those two series in the first half, they started off with a field goal attempt off of a drive where Geno Smith was able to connect with Brock Bowers for a big play, a big chunk play down the field where Brock Bowers essentially mossed the guy. A really good pitch and catch for the first play of the game to get this offense kind of rolling. After that, they continue to take shots down the field where Geno Smith just slightly missed our speedster rookie wide receiver Dante Thornton Jr. on the deep pass. Got a really good release off the line, was able to get a step on his man, and that should have been a touchdown. Geno Smith just slightly overthrows it, but you know, Thornton Jr. is a guy that I've been really excited about the potential he can bring to this offense, and that is exactly what you just saw right there. Now, Geno Smith missed it just barely, but you can see this is the type of things that a guy like Thornton Jr. can really bring to this offense. He can open up the playbook, and he allows us the big playability down the field through the passing game. And I absolutely love that we targeted him, and I'm really excited how Chip Kelly can use him in this offense during the regular season. Geno Smith has a strong arm. With Seattle, he was pushing the ball down the field. A lot of times it was towards DK Metcalf, and I feel like this could be our version of DK on this Raiders offense. Dante Thornton Jr. And really with Thornton Jr., you can make an argument that he should have had two big touchdowns in these first two games of the preseason. The first one against Seattle, he got a step on his man as well, but Aiden O'Connell underthrew him, which led to an interception. In this game, he gets a step on his man. Geno Smith slightly overthrows it, so that was a missed opportunity, but that drive ultimately ended up in a field goal. The Raiders then in their second drive on offense, they were ultimately able to punch the ball in the end zone where our rookie running back Ashton Jeanty looked really good in that drive. He had one phenomenal run that, you know, essentially went viral on social media where he trucks a guy.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you? Teach your man how to squabble.
And boy, did Ashton Jeanty look really good on that run. It reminded me a little bit of beast mode with that truck, with that physicality when it comes to running the football. And he looked really good on that drive. And ultimately, he was able to punch it in the red zone for the Raiders touchdown. So the Raiders offense got 10 total points with Geno Smith at quarterback. Now, the Raiders starting defense, they started off pretty hot, getting the Niners off to a 3rd and long where they did convert it on a 3rd and 18. They ultimately got a field goal as well on that drive. And one player that made a play was our safety, Jeremy Chin, for the diving interception. So that was exciting to see as well. But the Raiders then turned to quarterback Aiden O'Connell. And for the most part, we sat most of our starters after that. And the Raiders eventually went into halftime with a 13-10 lead over the 49ers with a Daniel Carlson field goal. Raiders then in the second half, for the majority of that half, they went with Aiden O'Connell at the quarterback position. And Aiden O'Connell, overall, to me, pretty underwhelming. The turnover bug showed up for Aiden O'Connell once again. And, you know, definitely is a little bit concerning with Aiden O'Connell. This is just like back-to-back preseasons, or I guess you could just say off seasons in general, that Aiden O'Connell does not look good. It definitely makes you wonder what's going on with Aiden O'Connell. What is the reason for the regression? Is it due to the fact that the new offense with Chip Kelly, is he really just struggling to pick it up? Or what exactly is going on with Aiden O'Connell? But to me, another underwhelming performance from him in this matchup. Later in the fourth quarter, we got to see a little bit of the rookie Cam Miller. Didn't really see anything huge from him either. He had a late turnover at the end of the game, with the Raiders being tied 19-19. and the kid just tries to make a play, makes a really ill-advised throw into coverage that ultimately ended up being the game-sealing interception for the Niners. It put them in great field position to kick the game-winning field goal, and ultimately that's how this game ended. 22-19, the Raiders fall to the San Francisco 49ers. So not quite the result we wanted, but overall my main takeaways is we got to see a little bit more of the starting offense, and the way I'm kind of looking at this Raiders team going into the season, just based on what I've seen in the preseason, everything we've been hearing from training camp, and also the moves and free agency and the draft and everything like that, I think this Raiders team is going to be a lot more fun to watch, especially on the offensive side of the football. This offense is going to be 10 times more exciting to watch compared to last season with AOC and Gardner Minshew at the quarterback position, Zamir White at running back, Luke Getsy at offensive coordinator. This Raiders offense with Geno Smith will have an upgrade at the quarterback position. We have a clear upgrade in Ashton Jeanty, and you just saw a glimpse of what Ashton Jeanty can bring to the next level, how he can improve this offense. Really exciting stuff to see that from Jeanty, especially coming off of a really lackluster performance in Seattle. 3 carries, -1 yards. Definitely do not expect to see very many games like that from Jeanty. We got him involved a little bit in the passing game as well, but he definitely showed that he can be a playmaker. It seems like the Raiders starting offense in the preseason at least have made a bigger emphasis on trying to get things going in the passing game. It may be an area where they're trying to improve. Overall, I'm not too worried about this rushing attack though. With Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator, if there's anything you need to know about a Chip Kelly offense, is the run game is his bread and butter. He will prioritize it. He'll find a way for us to be able to run the football effectively. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, we might have like a top 10 rushing offense, but I think he will find a way for us to be able to run the ball effectively. We'll just have to see how explosive we can be in the passing game. Geno Smith has the arm. I like how we are targeting Dante Thornton Jr. down the field. He's been a real field stretcher for this Raiders offense. And just in general, I'm just so excited to see this offense. The potential for us to get chunk plays is really there with, Brock Bowers being a yards after the catch monster, Thornton Jr. being a deep ball threat wide receiver, and Ashton Jeanty just being the player he is, a hard guy to bring down, a guy that can truck people every now and then. You can get him involved in the passing game as well. I'm super excited about this Raiders offense. Not sure how well we're going to do on defense, just because you look at the defense, there's only a handful of guys you can really depend on and say these are proven players. We got Crosby. Maybe you can make that argument for Jeremy Chin and like a veteran like Adam Butler. But besides that, there's a lot of players that are young that are going to have to step up, especially in the secondary group. And a lot of players that we picked up in free agency for kind of like bargain signings and players that have been kind of moving around from team to team. So that is a little bit concerning for me for this defense going into the regular season. How well would this Raiders defense be able to hold up? But going into the regular season, I would not be shocked if this offense is the strength of the team. Hopefully the young guys can step up on defense though, or at the bare minimum, hopefully we can be a defense that can create turnovers. I mean, so far in the preseason, back-to-back games, we were able to get some interceptions. So that might be the recipe for success for this Raiders 2025 regular season. But just in general, I mean, I'm very excited for the season coming up. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say we're going to for sure make the playoffs or win the division or anything like that, but at the bare minimum, this team is going to be competitive, and at the bare minimum, this is going to be a much more exciting football season to watch, in my opinion. We'll just have to see how that pans out come week 1 of the regular season. But the Raiders conclude their second matchup of the preseason. Got one more game left where we're going to see a lot of young players that are on the bubble to making this roster before we finally trim it down to a 53-man roster. And very likely we should see a lot of quarterback Cam Miller, which that will be exciting to see how he bounces back off of a game like this where he made a costly mistake, a costly turnover that resulted in us losing the game. And ultimately just to see which players can make that final push to make the roster before the regular season starts. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below of this matchup against the 49ers. What did you think about the starting offense when it was out there? What did you think of Jeanty? The defense while I was out there as well? Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that is all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.